wrap up our interview with Ashley Steinweg today with the question, how do you find corporate sponsors?
Yeah, Linwood, I don't have I don't have a solution. I have a mouth. I have a big mouth. And it's really finding people like yourself and your church who believe in our mission and say, hey, you should check out Parkview. Or you're retired, you want something to do, you should check out Parkview. Really, Tom Delaney is a great example of that. Glenn Dillon, who is on our board, he is friends with Tom Delaney. Tom Delaney came and took a tour with us and fell in love with it. And he now volunteers on Thursdays, every Thursday. He's here often, but he is now just recently in January became our director of our board. So he's our board chair. And it's really, people that if they have a desire to change our community, send them our way. Whether that's someone in a church who can make an impact by partnering with us. We have people who are always willing to go and speak. Todd is our executive director, and he is a pastor in his past life. So he has that desire. Anyone who, there's a different group. The people it's trying to bridge the gap between the people who we serve. How do we get the word out of the things that we do and how we can provide them for our community? And then there's our volunteers. How do we get the word out to the people who want to volunteer, need to be repurposed, or want to be repurposed after retirement, or just the students who need volunteer hours. A lot of our volunteers are CSER students who need they need 40 hours a semester or 40 hours a year. That's a whole lot of students that we can have volunteer here, as well as, other school clubs. But then there's our donors. How do we get the word out to donors? A lot of it really is just cold calling them and asking them, hey, everyone kind of wants to be part of something bigger than themselves. And to me, that's Parkview. We can't do this by ourselves. It is not about us. It's about our community. How can we collaborate as a community to strengthen our community? So in my mind, all of the people who attend your church, who work for different nonprofits, our goal is to work together with them. We're serving the same people. We don't want to duplicate services. Let's use each other as resources and collaborate together and strengthen our community and make the needs in our community less. So that didn't really answer your question of...
It did, because you don't really know the answer.
Yeah, it's kind of like, come be a part of Parkview.
Yeah.
About what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Those loud noises.
Like unloading trucks.
Those, exactly.
Yeah.
Unloading trucks and trying to find people who are willing to be a part of us.
Yeah, because you have to unload trucks, but you have to have the trucks to start off with, and then you have to have the people who will donate to put food in those trucks so that other people can come and unload those trucks.
Yeah. It's full circle. And we write a lot of grants. To be honest, there's a lot of grant writing and community grants that we receive from our, big organizations. All of those are the little pieces that all kind of come together as the Parkview puzzle. I kind of stumbled upon being the director of development. Because of my family structure, because of my children and my husband, that is my number one priority. So I can't always be here when I need to be here to run a program. So that's kind of why I stepped away from Food for Thought. I wasn't able to be here every day, 40 hours a week. I still work 40 hours a week, just not always on site. And And a lot of what I do as the director of development is really sharing what Parkview is and what we do. I see my role now as a support system for our directors. I need to make sure that they have everything they need in order to be successful in their program. That could be money, that could be resources, that could be food, that could be volunteers, all of the above. Really, the support system is kind of that's how I see my role as the director of development. I like it because it's different every day. I get to do things like talk to you about where we've been and how far we've come. We run events to raise funds to make sure that we can feed kids, like our 5K. That is solely for Food for Thought. All the monies that come in from that go directly to feeding our kids in our community. Writing our impact report and how donors have impacted the lives of the people in our community. That's super important. So those relationships, that's like the relationship building aspect, that's kind of my favorite aspect of it. I would love for Parkview, honestly, to be under one roof. I have a hard time with being in so many different locations. If we could have all of us under one roof, consolidate resources, consolidate our efforts, we would be able to serve our community better, in my opinion. Even if we were a little bit closer than the plaza. There are many unhomed neighbors that don't have transportation. And if I say, oh, you need clothes? Oh, you're going to have to walk all the way over to the Clothing Connection. That's not super far. But if you literally were just released from prison and you walked here, that's far. That's a long morning. And we've experienced that with our neighbors. So anyway, I would love for us to be in one location, under one roof, serving our community together, but also narrow our resources to do what we do best.
Where would that one location be?
The hard part is that I want it here. This is our building. Yeah. We just received this building. It is Parkview's. But yeah, we all can't fit right now.